your success in school, work, or how the world treats you? Do people perceive advantages in life simply because society deems them beautiful? This is what's called pretty privilege. To treat it differently, social psychologists Michael Hogg and Graham Vaughan say that attractive people receive different treatment and face different assumptions. Those who meet a certain standard of beauty are often the recipients of better social treatment and advantages in life, meaning those who don't meet these standards of beauty receive social disadvantages.
Have you heard of the term pretty privilege? Well, it's described by one psychology website as a societal advantage or preferential treatment that individuals perceived as physically attractive may receive based on their appearance. It's something I talk about at length in my first book, Pretty Powerful: Appearance, Substance, and Success, where I reveal how I use this advantage as a powerful asset and how being pretty and powerful are not mutually exclusive. But is pretty privilege all that it's cracked up to be? And what does it mean if you are not deemed as one of the beautiful people by society's standards? Joining me to discuss pretty privilege is Cami Crawford. She's a producer. She's also one of the hosts of MTV's Catfish, the TV show. She's also a former Miss Teen USA. That's why I was introduced to her. And she's got her own very successful podcast. Cami, thank you so much for joining us here at the Griot. Now, they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but we all know in society sometimes there are some people that decide, right? So who gets to decide, Cami, who's beautiful in our society?
You know, I think it's unfortunate because in today's age with social media, it seems like anyone who has access to Wi-Fi and, thumbs to be able to comment on a picture, that they are the deciders of who is beautiful and who is not. I still think that we can be the deciders. I think that, there's more to us than just our physical appearance, although physical appearance does play a role in a lot of the things that we see in our society. So it's really up in the air. For me, I decide if I'm beautiful in my world, but, everyone has a different opinion and a different take.
Okay, but Cami, you know what the people are going to say when Cami Crawford says, well, I decide I'm beautiful. They're going to say, ma'am, very easy for you to say, right? You've got the symmetrical features. You've got the aesthetic that has been celebrated as it relates to women and black women for generations. But I want your take on this, Cami, because we also live in a generation that I think both coming from the industry of pageants and kind of a very kind of rigid standard of beauty, where now I do think that's opening up a bit. Let's start there. Do you think that is true? Do you agree that the definition of beautiful is expanding in today's society?
I think it's definitely expanding. I think that we're getting out of our traditional westernized view of what beauty is. And listen, I grew up being bullied relentlessly, so I had a lot of people telling me that I wasn't beautiful for a long time. And then I won a beauty pageant, and I still had people who told me that I wasn't beautiful for a really long time because I was the first Black Miss Teen USA in a decade. So there were definitely people who were not supportive of that and told me that I wasn't black enough to be a Black Miss Teen USA, that I was fat even though I was a size 0. There were so many different things that I was hearing. So when I say that we can take control of the narrative, I mean it. If I allowed all of these people in my life to tell me who I was and what I looked like and what my value was, then I don't think that I would be here talking to your beautiful face right now.
Oh, you're so kind. No, but it's true, and it's true. And I'm glad that you were vulnerable and shared that, Cami, because it is. It's very easy for someone to see Cami Crawford today, Sports Illustrated model on television as host, and only think you only have had a lived experience that affirmed your beauty. When in actuality, as you've just shared with us, there's always someone, there's always some peanut gallery that's going to try to pick it apart. And I think that's part of the messaging that we're amplifying today, right? Is that that's how arbitrary beauty really is. Is that no matter how many accolades, trophies, awards you may literally win, crowns literally on your head, somebody somewhere is going to take issue with that. Let's talk about this notion, Cami, of pretty privilege being unearned, right? We live in a society where earning it is really important, right? And that those are people that say, well, if you're just born beautiful, it's not fair because you are receiving an advantage, whether it's professionally or romantically, that you didn't earn. What's your take on that?
I mean, I live in Los Angeles, so I see it at work every single day. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have not benefited from pretty privilege and that I don't think that it exists. It 1000% exists. There are things that, you know, even on Catfish, I can get away with sex because I say it with a smile and it's received in a certain way from my mouth.
Okay, Cami Crawford, stay with us. After the break, we want to hear whether or not you think pretty privilege has played a part in your show Catfish when it comes to real people and who they're actually dealing with. And once that's revealed on the show, what are the consequences? Stay with us. You are watching The Grio.